A crazy doctor wrestles a vampire just to get a mask on him for treatment. Last time, the director brought a doctor to treat a vampire. At first, he didn't believe it. He thought he heard wrong. The director actually called him a vampire, but when the doctor saw the vampire's fangs, he froze in terror. He backed away in panic, screaming, "Don't come close," frantically swinging his medical key. "Get away from me, you monster. I'm a vegetarian. I don't taste good at all." The doctor trembled, begging for his life. The vampire was speechless watching this. Without those chains, your drama queen would be dead already. When the doctor saw the vampire wasn't moving, he peeked and realized he couldn't move. The doctor finally relaxed. But then the vampire started cursing at the doctor. "You looked tough before, but you're actually an idiot." The doctor ignored the vampire. He got up and walked to the cell door. He tried with all his might, but couldn't open it, even though no one was watching. Someone would check on progress soon. The doctor didn't want to think about the consequences of not finishing the job. He had no choice but to treat that guy. With one glance, the doctor could tell the vampire was badly injured, besides a broken left ankle. The worst was the bleeding abdomen. Without immediate stitching, that guy would definitely die. He didn't understand why he couldn't heal, but now he had to treat this dead bat like a human. But when the doctor glanced again, he was afraid of getting bitten. So he planned to find some tape to seal his mouth, but then he found something even better. The doctor wasn't worried anymore. He told the vampire to be good. "Relax, it won't hurt at all. Once it's on your mouth, it'll lock instantly." The doctor rushed forward, trying to catch the vampire off guard. But because he was too excited, he couldn't get it fastened. Instead, he pulled off the bandage in the vampire's mouth. Great. Now the only thing covering his mouth was gone. The doctor panicked and actually climbed on top of the vampire. The vampire yelled he didn't need treatment, but the doctor said no, he needs it, or he'd be in danger. But the vampire said, "Who cares about that?" Then the doctor slipped and touched something he shouldn't have. Now it was his business. Just because the vampire called the doctor a duck, the doctor lost it on him. Last time, the doctor's hand slipped and touched something, which really pissed off the vampire. He kicked the doctor, cursing the doctor as a dumb side, stupid and annoying. Better stay put, or he'd kick his duck head off. But the doctor got worked up, muttering, "I'm not a seduck." He got right in the vampire's face and yelled, "I've been a doctor for 6 years. Everyone I've treated has thanked me. Why do you smelly bat, call me a seduck? From colds to cancer, from cuts to missing limbs. I've seen every kind of patient." The vampire saw the doctor going crazy and realized the danger, wanting to get away. But the next second, the doctor shoved his hand into his body. The vampire watched his own blood spurting, then felt excruciating pain. He struggled, yelling, "What are you doing, you crazy duck?" But the doctor asked mockingly, "Hurts, doesn't it? Without me, you just die like this." While saying this, he twisted his hand inside the vampire's body. Only when the vampire had no strength to fight back did he pull his hand out. Then he easily put the mask on the vampire. Once it was fastened, the vampire realized he was done for. The doctor was pleased with his clever move. Now he could finally do the surgery in peace. The only regret was no anesthesia. The vampire realized the doctor was insane, putting his hand into his wound. He had to get away from him as soon as possible. But the doctor suddenly got close. "If you move again, I'll just break your right foot. It hurts now, but once you're healed, you'll thank me. Even though you're a smelly bat, we're all equal when it comes to suffering." Scene change. The director coughed up blood, asking a servant to get him medicine. The servant tried to warn him not to take too much, but the director snapped. "Who does he think he is?" A subordinate asked, "Is it really okay to just watch them? Your condition seems to be getting worse." The director replied he was fine for now. It'd be a waste to let him die. They're in the same situation, so they should open up easier. Getting information is more useful than anything. The subordinate asked, "If he can't be cured, will you really kill him?" The director laughed. "I don't need useless things. Only people with value can survive." The doctor finally finished stitching the vampire's wound. Afterward, he unconsciously stroked the vampire's forehead. Guess what the doctor's thinking? Vampires need the bathroom too. The doctor helps him with his pants. Last time, the doctor stitched up the vampire's wound. Since it took so much energy, the doctor fell asleep right after. But he didn't sleep long. He kept hearing clanging sounds. As the noise got louder, the doctor suddenly woke up, yelling, "Why are you making noise when you're not sleeping?" Then started trembling again. He looked over and saw the vampire with chains he had wrongly accused. Looking at him, he probably couldn't do anything. Right now, he just needed the bathroom. The doctor complained, "Why didn't he say so? Making all that noise, my perfect stitches tore again." The vampire told the doctor to go away, but the doctor told the vampire to be good. He can't even stand, but still acts tough. Even though he's a cold-blooded bear, his body temperature is like a human's, and he gets embarrassed like humans too. The doctor marveled at how amazing the world is. He'd been captured for a week. The vampire was getting more docile, though his wound was slowly healing. For some reason, he refused to take medicine. His strength wasn't great as legends say, and he had no charm powers. All this made the doctor think he was like any normal person. The doctor truly saw the vampire as his patient, taking care of all his needs. But the vampire didn't watch where he was walking, and accidentally stepped on a tray. He crashed to the ground. The doctor's head was ringing from the pain, complaining. What was the vampire doing? The broth soaked into the bandages. "You wouldn't open your mouth when I fed you. Feel, but I'm treating you, not babysitting. Now I have to clean you up and disinfect again." But when the doctor saw the vampire's pitiful state, he softened and stopped blaming him. "Anyway, when the guard comes, I'll get what I need. Until I get back, please just be good and stay still." The doctor left with the food. The vampire seemed obedient, but it was all an act. As soon as the doctor left, he muttered he's a stupid duck. He really thinks I fell by accident. The risk was worth taking. No way. The vampire wants to take out his hubby. The vampire was afraid the doctor would snap, so he had no choice but to kill him and drink his blood. Last time, the vampire deliberately fell to steal a scalpel, planning to push the doctor against the wall and stab him during a bathroom trip. If successful, he could drink fresh blood. Though he didn't know the doctor's name yet, the vampire had no other choice to survive. As soon as someone noticed something wrong and opened the door, he could escape. Whatever was happening outside, the moment the chains loosened, he'd act. Soon the doctor returned with supplies. The vampire thought, this dumb Psyduck probably won't notice a scalpel is missing. As the doctor was about to check the medical kit, the vampire could only hope he was blind. But suddenly the doctor stopped. No idea why he froze. The vampire got more nervous. Just then the doctor looked at the vampire, scaring the vampire. Did he find out? His heart was pounding. The doctor was confused. When did he become so scary? I was a bit rough last time, but I'm actually a good person. I'm usually very kind, so you don't need to be so afraid, and I have no reason to hurt you. I just hope you cooperate with treatment. Don't refuse medicine because you don't like it, and don't hurt your wrist trying to use the bathroom. You just need to wake me up. The doctor realized he hadn't introduced himself, then pointed at himself and told the vampire his name is John. But the vampire said stubbornly he didn't ask. But the doctor said it doesn't matter. Once I get you healed, I can leave here. The vampire was exasperated. You dummy, don't you know I'll be tortured again then? But the doctor told the vampire not to worry. I don't know why you were brought here, but either way, you're my patient. I'll get you healed as fast as I can. The vampire didn't care why the doctor said this. He was just focused on hiding the scalpel. The doctor stuffed cotton into the vampire's shackles, so he wouldn't get hurt. After the protection, the doctor planned to take the vampire to the bathroom to wash up. He unlocked some chains, urging the vampire to hurry, but the vampire hesitated. The opportunity came sooner than expected. Though he seems kind now, who knows when he'll snap again. This was a rare chance. He had to strike fast and take him out. The doctor fantasized about the vampire biting him. The vampire saw him spacing out and urged him on. Last time, the doctor stopped the vampire's nosebleed, holding the vampire lost in thought. After that, the doctor kept his word, treating him like his patient with care. Though recovery was slow, he looked much better than before. Seems like that little bit of blood really worked. But lately the doctor had another problem. Ever since then, he'd been really conscious of the vampire. Unluckily, the vampire caught him staring this time. Suddenly, the vampire's mouth curved up. Then he reached out and pulled the doctor close. I noticed your weird looks a long time ago. Are you fantasizing about me? The doctor shyly said no, thinking why so sudden. But the vampire said pretending was useless. The body is the most honest thing. Don't be shy. I'll service you like I did when I drank your blood. Suddenly, the doctor snapped out of it. He heard the vampire's voice yelling in pain. That was all the doctor's fantasy. He was actually wrapping the vampire's foot. The doctor quickly apologized, saying he'd redo it right away. Watching the doctor's weird behavior, the vampire was a bit confused. Why does the Psyduck keep spacing out lately? His face gets really red. He stutters when he talks, and even offers his neck to me, letting me drink his blood. The vampire pondered the problem while drinking, concluding the doctor had mental issues. Little did he know the doctor was secretly watching him. The doctor felt he'd had enough, and pushed the vampire away. But the vampire's mouth movements made the doctor shudder. So he quickly pushed the vampire far away. That strange feeling came again. He couldn't lose control like this. The doctor asked if the vampire had enough. Without waiting for an answer, he bolted. Guess what the vampire's thinking? He'd do anything the vampire wanted, because he needed the doctor to escape the cell. Last time the doctor kept fantasizing about the vampire, leaving the vampire confused. In the dim cell, the doctor was writing in his diary. He couldn't remember how long he'd been here, or how much longer he'd stay. A cramped, sealed space would make anyone have strange thoughts. Though the doctor wanted to heal the vampire quickly, no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't fully cure him. Watching the vampire toss and turn on the cold floor, the doctor wondered if it was because he had no bed. Just then the vampire had his back to the doctor. The doctor looked at the vampire's chained hands, remembering the wild scenes from his daydreams. Strange. Why has my body been out of control since that happened? The doctor stared at the vampire's back, doing something shameful. Little did he know the vampire noticed his movements. But the vampire didn't call him out.